All right, let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. When was the last time you put on a pair of new work boots and didn't hate your life for the next 2 weeks? Because I'm here with Brunt, and I gotta know, what was your experience? I'm serious. I put these on, and I'm waiting for the catch. Right now, I'm wearing the Marin, but I've also checked out the Omen. These boots were comfortable right out of the box. No blisters, no breaking them in, and that blew my mind. Because every other boot brand I've ever worn, they punish you first and then try to apologize later. Brunt was founded by Eric Gerard, a blue-collar guy who got sick of big workwear brands selling out and forgetting the people actually doing the work. So he built Brunt for real tradesmen. Brunt figured out what everybody else ignored. Comfort and durability doesn't need to be a trade-off. These belts are tough. They're built to perform, and they won't wreck your feet. Waterproof, safety toe, soft toe, pull-on, lace-up, you name it. And here's the best part. If you wear them to work and they're not right, send them back. So listen, you work too hard for bad boots. Right now, you can get $10 off with code Chael at bruntworkwear.com. Use the code, get the boots, and if they ask you where you heard about them, tell them Chael sent you.
Oh, Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong. I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm glad it's over. There's a relief in there that it's over on behalf of Sean. I never got it. I never understood or knew what those guys were fighting for. And when that fight came to a conclusion, now my statement is even more true. Like Sean himself, who has a very rare ability to get one victory, one shot on a microphone and turn an entire division. He didn't do that. He made it clear that he doesn't know. I mean, he made it very clear, hey, listen, Peter Yan, I've beaten you. So us rematching, which, by the way, now comes with a prize, which is that nice shiny world title you got, makes a lot of sense. But Merab getting a rematch against you also makes a lot of sense. Merab's got everything I've got, except, you know, he had the belt most recently. So if Merab gets it, fair play. It was just one of these interesting things where I told you going into this fight, I don't love this fight. I think it's a dangerous fight. You're not going to see promotion. You're not going to see Sean O'Malley being able to do all the things that Sean O'Malley does so well because you have a partner that isn't going to play along back. Not to mention that partner is really dangerous. I just didn't get the fight going into it. And then my biggest thing coming out the back is, hey, Sean's got personal issues with all sorts of guys. And if we can do a personal grudge match, let's do it. Oh, one guy he's got no issue with whatsoever that has literally never said anything to him that upset him is that guy, Song Yadong. So why is that the guy that he's fighting? I've never known. What's on the line? What's the point? What is the reason for this? I still don't know. We might get clarity and there might get an answer, but where we sit right now, and I share with you, I really did enjoy the match. And Song Yadong really is as dangerous of opponent as I thought that he was. And the crowd reacted pretty negatively to the decision. And when that fight was over, I also thought that Song won that fight. I thought it was clear. I wasn't even questioning it. Close battle. 2 rounds won. Song. And when the fight was immediately over, Sean went to where the bosses sit. Dana, Hunter, and yells to them, that was my fight. That was my fight. He looks very confident. And I remember being at home going, well, you know, sometimes you feel like that. Sometimes you feel like you won, but, you know, he didn't. I remember thinking that. And then they made the announcement, and the crowd did not like it. The crowd did not agree at all, but Sean turned him like that. You might not have even heard the crowd booing because Sean had them cheering instantly. So I don't know if there's going to be a dispute or a debate. I haven't been on the internet yet to read and see what people are saying. But my guess is they don't think Sean won. And I also predict for you that's probably not like a headline anywhere. I think people have already moved on. There's a lot of fights that happen where you don't agree with the outcome, but you also don't get worked up about it. You don't start screaming and demanding for rematches. I mean, a lot of people thought that Sean didn't beat Peter Yan. So if you're yelling and screaming for rematches at every decision you don't agree with, great, let's redo that one. And Song doesn't have the skills required to to turn this or to make this into a thing or to be able to demand a rematch if it was close. And perhaps you guys aren't even agreeing. You know, I'm coming at you a little bit fast. The fight's just got over. I'm coming at you a little bit fast. But I thought that they were going to give Song the victory. And the crowd did react in a way pretty unanimously that they thought Song was going to have a victory. I'd be curious what you guys think. It's distant history anyway. But what a hard situation that O'Malley found himself in, truly. And I don't know what O'Malley has to do right now to make sure that he doesn't find himself in that same spot, but most fighters, the top fighters, do eventually get asked to do something that they normally never would have asked for. Justin Gaethje just went through it by fighting Fedzaev on short notice, and Gaethje was a 2-1 underdog, and Fedzaev is a guy that Gaethje already beat. He's not thinking about, he's never thought he's going to see that fight again. All of a sudden, 8 days later, he's got to go in and do it. He did it. He found a way. You get a reward. Turned out to be a world title fight, turned into a world championship. I'm only sharing for you, like, this was Sean's moment. Sean didn't want to not be a main event. Then he wasn't even a co-main event spot. Now he's got to jerk the curtain, and he's got to do it with a guy that can't help him with a rare skill set that Sean has, which is firing people up and getting them interested at a press conference. Like, everything is, and he still found a way. He still found a way to go out there and win. So when I say all the top guys eventually get asked to do something, this was the ask. Now we need to sit back and see what is the reward. And O'Malley definitely deserves something for this victory.